The crowded terminal buzzed with the sounds of rolling luggage and hurried footsteps when Officer Elena Cruz's AS partner, a German shepherd named Rex, suddenly froze mid-step. His muscles stiffened, his ears shot up. Then, without warning, he lunged, his powerful jaws clamping down on the corner of a dark leather suitcase resting near the security conveyor. The sharp snap of his teeth silenced everything. People gasped, a woman screamed, and the owner of the suitcase, a well-dressed man in a gray suit, stumbled backward shouting, "Get your dog off my bag!" But Elena's gut whispered something else. Rex had never been wrong before. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're re-watching from. I love knowing who jot's listening. Elena's heart pounded. She could feel the tension crawling up her spine as Rex growled low, refusing to release his grip. The man's expensive cologne couldn't, to mask the faint metallic scent of fear now clinging to him. The entire terminal seemed to hold its breath. TSA officers rushed over, passengers recorded on their phones, and security protocols snapped into motion. "Sir, step away from the bag," Elena ordered, keeping her voice calm but firm. The man's eyes darted between her and Rex. "This is outrageous. He ruined my luggage." But Elena noticed something. The man's hands, trembling. His cufflinks gleamed under the fluorescent lights, but his pulse jumped visibly at his throat. And Rex's instincts had never failed her. Never. She called for the bomb squad. A perimeter was cleared. The suitcase sat there. Ordinary, silent, threatening. Every second felt like a held breath that might explode. While technicians approached, Rex stood beside Elena, alert but calm now, as if he had done his duty and was waiting for her to believe him. She crouched beside him, whispering, "Good boy, let's hope you're wrong this time." But in her chest, she already knew. He wasn't. The bomb squad robot whirred to life. Cameras zoomed in on the damaged corner where Rex had bitten. The leather was torn, exposing a glint of metal beneath. One of the technicians looked up, his voice shaking slightly through the radio. "Ma'am, this isn't what we thought. You need to see this." A hush spread as Elena stepped closer. The crowd leaned forward, straining to hear. Inside the suitcase, beneath layers of folded clothes and a false compartment, were dozens of small metal canisters, each marked with faded medical insignia. It wasn't explosives. It was something far stranger. "VX nerve compound," the technician said quietly. "Military grade? This isn't luggage, it's a weapon transport." The words hit Elena like ice. VX, one of the deadliest substances ever created. A drop could kill within seconds. Whoever this man was, he wasn't just smuggling. He was planning something catastrophic. The man in the suit tried to bolt. Officers tackled him before he took 3 steps. He shouted about not understanding, about just being paid to deliver. But his panic told another story. And through it all, Rex sat, silent and steady, watching with eyes that seemed to pierce straight into the man's soul. Hours later, after the scene had cleared and the terminal reopened, Elena sat alone in the dimly lit security room. News had already broken. "Police dog prevents airport tragedy," the headlines read. But she couldn't shake the image of the trembling man or the deadly vials hidden in plain sight, because underneath the relief was something else, a question she couldn't silence. What kind of world needed dogs like Rex to stop what humans had become capable of? She thought of Rex's bite marks on the suitcase, the marks that had saved hundreds of lives, and she smiled faintly, running her fingers through his fur. "You did good, partner," she whispered. He leaned against her leg, eyes soft as if to say he understood more than she'd ever know. But just as she reached for her jacket to leave, her phone buzzed. A restricted number. "Officer Cruz," a deep voice said on the other end. "We need you and your K-9 at headquarters immediately. There's been another alert. Similar shipment, different airport." Elena froze. The words sank in like stones. It wasn't over. By dawn, she and Rex were back in motion, the hum of the highway beneath their tires, the horizon still painted in bruised shades of purple and gold. Rex rested his head on her armrest, calm but ready. The world outside didn't know it yet, but a war was quietly being fought, not with guns or armies, but with instincts, courage, and trust. And that trust was sitting beside her, breathing steadily, waiting for the next scent that could change everything again. When they arrived at the new airport, the air was cold and sharp with morning mist. People moved like ghosts through the fog. Elena looked down at Rex and murmured, "Let's find what others can't see." His tail wagged once, a silent promise. By nightfall, the second suitcase was found. This time, no one questioned Rex's growl, because once you witness what truth looks like, once you see what loyalty can stop, you never doubt it again. Because sometimes the smallest act of instinct can save the biggest piece of humanity. And as Rex's paw prints faded into the wet concrete outside, Elena realized something powerful. Kindness, loyalty, courage, they don't need words. They only need to act once at the right moment. If you believe heroes come in all forms, even with 4 paws, hit subscribe to Whispered Words, and share this story with someone who needs a little faith in goodness today.